When you have a game like that, you're playing an undefeated team, a really, really good team. You guys are in it till the end, and it doesn't work out. Does that linger longer, or does it give you guys more things that you can take out of the game to feel good about?
Well, at this point, you just try to stay on the positive. What we did well, we went through those things with the kids this morning, and we're going through them right now, still as I speak on special teams and things, but. We'll try to just rally them up, get their spirits back up, and we need to play 60 minutes, which is that's really the first time we kind of played a complete game and gave ourselves a chance to win. So that was encouraging.
Yeah, the best part about this game to me against Tulsa was here you guys held the #1 offense in the country really in check until the fourth quarter. I mean, really holding them to 37 points is pretty nice, especially when you talk about this, SMU defense, which is earlier in the season was giving up tons of points, tons of yards. I mean, that was a fantastic defensive performance. You got to be really happy with your defense.
Well, I appreciate the positive, words. We I thought played more physical than we played. They gained a lot of yards, and I think it was unfortunate that we got hit right when we threw a ball and gave them field position on that interception. That was unfortunate. But our defense did the things that we needed to do, and that is we knocked the ball out, we intercepted, we had 2 other interceptions right in our hands, and they're going to move the ball, they're going to do what they do pretty much against everybody this year, but I was proud of how the defense, how hard they played, and we played more physical than we played all year.
Now on the offensive side of the ball, we know that you guys like to get up and down the field. Last week we were talking about the rushing game and having like a certain ratio. Mm-hmm. And this week you guys did really well in the rushing game. Have you been able to identify what the main difference was in, let's say, the game Saturday and previous games, or did it just find
Well, we've been practicing the run really hard the last 2 or 3 weeks, and practice pays off. The guys finally, when you look at the tape, were doing the correct things and doing it the way you needed to do it. I thought that I only ran 2 runs. I said, let's just simplify it. We're just going to tell we do them correctly. We just simplified. We ran 2 running plays. I think that's the first time ever in a football game that I've coached since I've been coaching that I didn't run a trap or didn't run a screen, because we just started executing. I said, you know what, we're just going to cut back, just do it until we do it right, and finally we're starting to do things right. So I was encouraged by that.
We're talking to June Jones, the head coach of SMU, and you got to be excited about these young receivers. A couple other fantastic performances, and now these guys are starting to get some national recognition.
Yeah, no, Al, I said this before the season that I thought Al and Emmanuel had special talents, and it's showing up. And as we were talking right before, I would be scared to see how far they would be 1 and 2 in the country if we were really operating at a high efficiency. Even last Saturday night's game, in Al's case, he probably had 5 or 6 throws, a couple that we didn't even throw that we should have thrown, and a couple others where he was 4 or 5 steps behind, and if we hit him, he might be really out there right now leading the country. But they're very talented kids. I was really proud of Cole Beasley. He's starting to play a little faster, getting more playing time. And Terrence Wilkerson's going to be a real good player for us too. And a nice catch on the fake stop ball in the end zone.
Now you're talking about simplifying the run offense. I was watching a little tutorial you were given to Bob Davie on ESPN where you're talking about just your basic spread and how you guys line up. And I'm watching this, and it seems like a lot of the decisions are left up to the quarterback, and you have a young quarterback. Have you simplified things because of his youth, or does he just need to read it and go? Is that part of it?
We have simplified them, and we don't do everything. In fact, the very last play that we were hoping that we would win the game with there in the end zone, we worked on. I must have run that probably for a week. I probably ran that play and practiced it against that look probably 25, 30 different times against that particular coverage. Each side, of the ball, receivers would confirm that because they got tired of running it. But I knew that we were going to get a chance against that coverage at that time, sometime in the game, to run that play. And I guessed right. And coaches sometimes don't change, just like their coach called what I thought he was going to call in that situation with the game on the line, or on 3rd and 1. I thought he might do it also. And we we did what we were supposed to do. We just didn't finish the play, and that was unfortunate.
All right, so Coach, what we like to do when we have you on is look ahead to the next week. So before we put this last week to bed, what'd you tell the guys? What do you think they're going to take from this, and how can you use this as a positive?
Well, I told them after the game that I was obviously proud of them. I really felt bad for the kids that have been here because, to see the excitement on the sideline when Brian McCann intercepted a ball or when Darius Bell hit the receiver right in front of our bench, that kind of excitement has been far and few between around here for a while. And so to lose, to not win the game after playing really hard, doing everything that we've been talking about doing, was very disappointing. But I'll get over it. Like I told them, I said I'll be over it by Thursday. I think sometimes the kids that have been here for so long and they're been losing, you want them to, go away and win a game and get it turned around. We're gonna turn it around, and so what do you tell them now? You tell them you got to play like you did this past week against Tulsa. Now again, nothing changes. You got to do it again for 60 minutes. Houston's got a lot of talented kids, and they're coming to our place, and we got to figure out a way to beat them.
So you guys square off with Houston. It's going to be two of the nation's top passing attacks squaring off. You guys combined average almost 700 yards per game passing. Is this your kind of game? Is this the type of game you like more than any other time?
Well, I'm not. If you ask me that question, when Bo has about 15 or 16 games under his belt, I'll say yes. But right now, I'm just looking to complete a ball every time we call a pass, and hoping that it goes to the right guy. Bo's getting better. I thought he played very well, good enough to win. He made a throw at the end of the game. Good enough. In fact, the corner route that he threw to Al to get us down to the 25 or 30 yard line there, I thought was a big time throw. Under the pressure, under the gameness of the situation. And those are the things that good quarterbacks do. And Bo's getting better, and every game he's just going to keep looking at the tape and realizing, I got to do this now, take another step. And do I like this kind of game? Usually when I got in these kind of games, and I've been in them before, we played Hal Mummy or somebody that throws the ball, even at Texas Tech. Sometimes these games end up being 10-3 instead of 55-54 or something. But they're exciting anyway. The fans get their money's worth.
We're talking to SMU head football coach June Jones. Is part of the reason why sometimes those games don't live up to the offensive building because the defenses are used to practicing against that? Maybe they're more in tune to how.
I think there's some truth to that. I don't think exactly what Houston does is the same kind of concepts we do, but there is some truth to what you're saying. That does. I think whenever you see two wishbone teams play, that really happens because they kind of know the intricacies of the wishbone, and I think that does happen. I think Texas Tech is similar to Houston. Oklahoma is similar to Houston's concepts. I think we're still just a little bit different than those teams.
Now, this is what I would call a quarterback town. From the Dallas Cowboys have a great history of quarterbacks. You're a quarterback coach, and then on Saturday, are you guys not retiring Don Meredith's jersey? Is that right?
Yes, we are retiring his jersey, and I'm excited. I heard he's in town, and I'm anxious to get a chance to say hello to him. In my brief career, I played 5 years in the NFL. I think I started 5 games, and 3 of them were on Monday Night Football, and Andy Don called the game with Frank and Howard. So I'll look forward to seeing him.
Do you know some of the legendary Don Meredith stories? Have you heard many? Do you know the one about the plane going down?
No, I haven't heard that.
Okay, I'll make it brief. I'm sure it's much better when Don tells it. But apparently, the Cowboys are flying back from a game. The plane hits turbulence, and it starts to drop. And you can imagine all these big, burly men are reevaluating their lives. Some are panicking. And
let me reenact it for him.
Oh my God. I think it was a lot more intense than that. I really did. But so legend has it that Don surveyed the scene, leaned back, held up his drink, and said, "Boys, it's been a good one." Takes a little drink. And then, of course, the plane, gathers itself and carries on. But that's just, his whole personality. All the stories you hear, that just sounds like that would be the way Don Meredith would deal with that situation.
Well, if there was ever perfect chemistry in the booth, it was those 3 guys, and they really, they're a standard. I think that everybody's looking for now in TV.